And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this. And welcome back, everybody. You're tuned in to the Sports Port. I am your host once again, Tony, for the day here. Brian still on assignment. Michael's somewhere in the vicinity. I don't know where Renee is. We have Shanna on the couch today, and it is Friday. Let's go. Huge Friday. A lot to talk about. Obviously, big weekend here for lots of sports teams, specifically in New York. So let's just get right into the world of the National Football League.
6 for 101, 2 touchdowns. To Evans, touchdown, Tampa Bay.
How about that throw?
Sam Darnold blasted. Oh my goodness, did he take a hit? In trouble once, brings him down. Loft one for Odell Beckham Jr. Got it down, touchdown.
All right. So big Thursday night game. Before we get to this weekend, you had the Bills in New England. Honestly, I would say for me, I thought New England maybe would have put up a little bit of a better fight here. You had New England fall to Buffalo 24-10 here. Buffalo moves up to 9-3. New England at 500 is now 6-6 here in the season. Very disappointing. Mac Jones seemed pretty pissed off at the lack of offense. They had only scoring 10 points. But those points really coming at the I guess the bookends of each game, the beginning and the end here. Let's talk about the scoring though. I mean, the Bills kind of opened it up about 8 minutes into the first quarter with a Tyler Bass field goal, 48 yards. Then to follow that up about 4 minutes later, you had Marcus Jones getting a 48-yard pass from Mac Jones. Honestly, this is something I noticed that my roommate watching the game last night. There was probably like 3 or 4 Joneses on the field. It was so annoying and so distracting. You had Marcus Jones, you had Mac Jones. I think another Jones on the defense for Buffalo. A lot of Jones around the league here, but nonetheless, after that touchdown pass, the Pats actually go up 7-3, and you're thinking, all right, like they had a great throw by Mac Jones here. Maybe he's coming to his own. But I guess what people maybe didn't count for is for Buffalo to step it up. Second quarter, you had a big drive by the Bills, a long drive that is too. I think it was like 5-6 minute drive or something, ending with a Stephon Diggs 8-yard touchdown pass. Diggs was all over the field last night. And then about 10 minutes later, you had another touchdown pass, also 8 yards, another long drive from Buffalo. So Buffalo kind of, getting the ball, keeping it, kind of running the clock out on the Patriots, and then obviously, scoring on those long drives. Certainly a great recipe for success here. As I mentioned, Gabe Davis with the 8-yard touchdown pass. Fourth quarter, Singletary, the easy 1-yard running along, after another, long drive here from Buffalo. And then, really at that point, by the fourth quarter, you're thinking, the game's over. It was Buffalo all the way here, especially with the way Buffalo was keeping possession of the ball. Allen ended up going 22 for 33 here, 223 yards, 2 touchdown passes. He was sacked twice, but a QBR of 90.2. That's a great game from him, honestly. Obviously, the no interceptions here is always good. In terms of rushing, you had the young guy, Cook. I believe he's out of Georgia. He had 14 carries last night for 64 yards. And with a nice long 28-yard run sprinkled in there. Then Singletary at 13 carries for 51 yards and the touchdown. So decent production out of your running right there. And then of course, in terms of receiving, Stephon Diggs was all over the place. He got targeted 9 times. He had 7 receptions for 92 yards and the touchdown. Averaging 13.1 yards of reception, with a long 19-yard reception there. And then McKenzie, with 44 yards and 5 catches. Cook, 6 catches, 41 yards. And the people were just firing on all cylinders here with the Buffalo Bills last night. They were rolling easily. They were just in their own game for sure. And then, Allen also 8 carries for 20 yards. Not like huge carries for Josh Allen here, but when he does carry the ball, I mean, he just does not want to go down, even if it's for a couple extra yards, if that. I mean, he's dropping that shoulder and he's definitely hurting someone on the way down. So, I mean, I think that's that's a big part of their running game, honestly, is Josh Allen having that big body. I mean, it's very intimidating, very scary to try and tackle that man. On the Patriots end here, you had Mac Jones, as I mentioned, frustrated, 22 for 36 here, 195 yards, 1 touchdown pass here. He was sacked once. There was a part of the game where it seems like he was pretty pissed off about, why are we running so much? The running game sucks. We should be passing more. You still had 36 pass attempts here. And I mean, you didn't even touch 200 yards. I mean, I don't know, Mac Jones. You had that, that long, I guess, pass to, I think that was Jones, right? The 48-yard pass to that resulted in a touchdown. But other than that, I mean, what did you do here? I mean, the running game, yeah. I mean, you had a total 60 running yards as a team here. That's not great. And Mac Jones ran for 7 of them over 3 carries. You had Stevenson 10 carries, 54 yards. So not bad, honestly. And I feel like Stevenson 10 carries, 54 yards. Why wouldn't you be running him more often? I mean, I feel like you're averaging, 5.5 yards per carry here. That's something you can build upon. I don't know what Mac Jones honestly is talking about. So yeah, obviously, some things to work on over there in New England. And something I didn't mention yesterday, Tom Brady possibly, being in talks with going back to New England. I think that's total hogwash. Why would he want them? Why would they want him? I don't know, man. But that was our Thursday night game. I think I read somewhere too that they're breaking records with viewership and whatever. I mean, in my opinion, I could see why. I mean, they're finally getting, some good games here, with Bills, Pats, or seemingly better matchups, I should say, at the beginning of the season. And not to mention, I think Amazon has worked out quite a few of their kinks, and it is a Thursday night game. I mean, what else is happening Thursday night? Obviously, there's no baseball on. There's some hockey on here. There's some basketball, but to be real here, football definitely trumps those. So it's pretty interesting to keep an eye on that. But nonetheless, I mean, we kicked off week 13 last night. I can't believe I'm saying week 13. Oh my gosh. But obviously this brings us to a big Sunday, week 13. A lot of football being played, a lot on the line here. New York teams across the country. So we're gonna get ready for our football frenzy, baby. Just as I cue up the music, I had it queued up, just an FYI. If Brian's watching, it was queued up, but there was, some technical difficulties. As you guys noticed, the videos are working today, so I'm pretty pumped up. So
Could we get some music?
Let's go, dude, huh? Get some music going. Here we go, baby. Let's go. Week 13, here we are, baby. No nonsense games this week 13, okay? It's all just potatoes, good football, no international games, no 9 a.m. starts. We're starting at 1 o'clock, baby. And we're starting in the Meadowlands, New Jersey, East Rutherford. Your G-men are hosting the Washington Commanders. The G-men 7-4. The Commanders 7-5. What? Commanders on a roll here. Giants really need this big win. This is a game that certainly have circled on their calendars. And let me tell you, I think it's going to be the G-men all day. Taylor Heineke, who cares about him? Okay, we'll drink beers somewhere else, buddy, on the plane ride home after a loss. Give me the G-men, Saquon, all over the field. Daniel Jones throws for maybe 210, nothing crazy, but no interceptions. Okay, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 more to run it in. Saquon, 108 yards on the ground here, 1 TD, hammering the ball. Giants, 27, Washington, 10. Let's go, next game. Still, 1 o'clock, we have the Atlanta Falcons hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers, obviously, I understand 4-7. Falcons are 5-7 here. But let's be real here. I mean, I just feel like Pickett is coming into a little bit of his own here. And, I mean, Marcus Mariota is dead in the water. The Falcons suck. No way. Give me Pittsburgh here, showing some defense. some decent offense as well. Give me the Steelers 17-7, baby. All right, next game. What camera am I looking at? I don't even fucking know, dude. Still 1 o'clock. Let's go. NFL and FOX. You have the Chicago Bears. Ooh, in Chicago. The cold. But who's in there? Green Bay Packers. Also used to the cold. Aaron Rodgers. What is going on? The thumb. The age. What's he going to do? Pieces around him. I don't know. I think he's going to feel a lot of pressure here. Not necessarily from the Chicago defense, but I think you're going to see a lot of great offense coming out of Chicago here. Justin Fields. You understand, not the typical season for him, though, in terms of the production you want out of him. But you know what? I think tonight's the night. He sees Rodgers. He's pissed off, okay? He knows Rodgers is washed up. He wants the young blood out on the field. Even Justin Fields throwing for 320 yards, 4 touchdown passes, scrambling around the field. Chicago rolls over Green Bay. Give me a 28-20 victory. Next game up, baby. Let's go. Detroit. Ooh. Hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. We got a peek of what Trevor Lawrence could be doing last weekend, against the Baltimore Ravens, upsetting them in the fourth quarter as he typically does, dude. But he had a phenomenal drive. I think he's going to take that drive and bring it over to Detroit. I understand Detroit kind of becoming a low-key good team here. I think they're going to run into some trouble here, though, with Trevor Lawrence and I forget I think it's also Jones, the receiver on the team. It doesn't matter. Trevor Lawrence, similar game of Justin Fields, going for 333 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, runs in 1 on his own. No interceptions, nothing crazy here. You mean Jacksonville in a tight one, though. I think it's going to be offensive, 28-27. Okay, Lawrence once again. The last minute, fourth quarter drive. All right, next game here. Still 1 o'clock. Oh, baby. Here comes the New York Mike Whites, baby. They're going to be in Minnesota visiting the Vikings. And this is, Brian, game of the day, baby. Must-win here game for the Jets. Must-win game here for, I think, just the career of Mike White. Think about the pressure, okay? How good he is now. The memes are out there. He's good-looking. He's poised. He's got the locker room behind him. Something Zach Wilson has got nothing on Mike White right now. And you know what? He's coming into a Minnesota team here that some people have called fraudulent. They're 9-2. They think they're frauds, dude. And you know what? I agree. And their defense is subpar. You saw the Patriots run all over them. You saw Mac Jones passing left and right. Minnesota had no answer for Mac Jones. What are they going to do for Mike White? They're going to roll over. Give me the Jets. Mike White, baby. 300 yards. Easily. I'll give him 1 interception, maybe. The 1 mistake. With 3 touchdown passes. The poise. The people love playing for Mike White, and they're going to win because of that. Give me the Jets. 35-10. Let's keep it going here, okay? We're still at 1 o'clock. We have the Eagles 10-1. They're hosting the Titans 7-4. I think it's going to be really tough here. And I think this is where the Eagles find their second loss of the season. I understand, the Eagles, they've been doubted. They're not going to win every game. Oh, my God, they're not going to win. They're not going to lose just 1 game here. But you know what? They keep fucking finding ways to win here. But you know what? Excuse me. I think you're going to see a little bit of a lack of offense here that you saw in Philadelphia. Week in, week, as it kind of happened throughout the season. They had some hiccups for sure, and I think it's going to be Derrick Henry. He has over 1,000 yards in the season, 10 TDs, over 247 carries. I think they're going to find some trouble here with Henry, and I think, he's had some issues with fumbling the ball, too, in the past. But no, give me Henry here, 175 yards on the ground, 3 TDs, Tannehill keeping it tight. Titans win this one, 24-21. Let's go. Keep it going. I'm going to reset the music here, by the way, because the ESPN primetime kind of really Brian's correct. All right, so it's next game here. Ooh, yes. Honestly, this is one of my game of the nights here. This is going to be a fucking bloodbath, baby. Baltimore Ravens hosting the Denver Broncos. Oh, the Russell Wilsons. Ew, dude. Let's ride all the way to the preschool, because you're a crybaby. Fuck you. I think he's an absolute trash quarterback at this point. A lot of big question marks in Baltimore in terms of their QB as well. I mean, Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens as a whole team, blowing fourth quarter leads left and right this season. This is something where the Baltimore Ravens are expected to be at home here and to have Russell Wilson come in here and absolutely just fold like a cheap suit here in Baltimore. This should be Lamar all over the field all day long. Be through the air, no problem at all. I mean, Russell Wilson, he had like 6 touchdown passes on the year. Absolute travesty. The amount of money he's getting paid. Russell Wilson isn't going anywhere. I don't care how many career touchdown passes he has. It's all bullshit. Lamar Jackson, easy money here. Give me Baltimore. The way they can score. Give me 42 to 17. Why not? I'll give him 17 points. Whatever, dude. Let's keep it rolling here. That was still the 1 o'clock game here. That was our last 1 o'clock time slot. This is probably the one of the more interesting games, I think, this week, and it's because of who is coming back for the Cleveland Browns. You have Deshaun Watson visiting the Texans, okay, in Houston. A lot of implications, a lot of past with these teams here, and Deshaun Watson. His first game coming back off of the obvious suspension here. The Texans 1-9-1 to 4-7 Cleveland Browns. It's going to be really interesting to see what the fans are like, what the atmosphere is like over there in Houston, and how even Cleveland is going to react to Watson's level of play. Jacoby Brissett having a great season. And now in comes Deshaun Watson off of his suspension, kind of just no questions asked. He's starting for sure. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I don't think I really like that. I'm Jacoby Brissett. I certainly don't like that. But nonetheless, the Texans are the Texans. I just think that there's no shot here. I think, no, fuck it. Give me the Texans here. Okay, I think, the revenge spot here for Houston. They obviously know Deshaun. Deshaun's going to be rusty for sure. Okay, he's not coming in here off of 13 weeks of not doing anything to come in and be good. No way. I think he's having a couple of turnovers, interceptions, maybe a few sacks, dude. The lack of scrambling, who knows? Give me the Texans here. 17-14. Let's go. Now on to our 4:05 time slot. We have the LA Rams hosting the Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith, tough last-minute loss last week. Geno Smith with a uncharacteristic interception late in the game here. I don't think it's going to happen again. So give me, honestly, the Seahawks all day here. I know they're 6-5, but you know what? They're a great team. A lot going for them. DJ Metcalf, Geno Smith, unbelievable. Pete Carroll is rallying this team, and it's the LA Rams who are hitting their own coach on the sideline. Yeah, bud. Give me the Seahawks 28-20. Next game here. Ooh, another great game here at 4:05. You have great games all day on Sunday. Crack a beer, sit on the couch, because the 49ers are hosting the Miami Dolphins, buddy. And let me tell you, I think there's going to be a lot of defense here. Tight game. 49ers known for their defense. Garoppolo needs to have an offensive night here, or middle of the day, I should say. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a close, low-ish scoring game. I think, honestly, field goal, fourth quarter. Dolphins win it 21-17. Next game here, we have the Bengals hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Joe Burrow, I understand the 7-4. Bengals doing a pretty good job after a slow start of the season, I feel, to kind of pick it up here. But it's the Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's dude. I mean, there's nothing more you can say about that. Chiefs, 34-27. Let's go. Next game, 4:25. Let's go. Our last midday game here. You have the Raiders hosting the Chargers. Now, I understand, Vegas, they're -1 right now. It's CBS. It's 4:25. Justin Herbert has, I think, one of the lowest pass attempts in the league right now. Kind of confused why. The Raiders, one of those teams who kind of find ways to lose games. I understand the past 2 weeks, they've actually won games in overtime here. That's once against Denver, once against Seattle in that, tight loss. But the Chargers themselves last week finding a way to win late, 2-point conversion the Poise in Arizona. I think it'll be a good game here. Give me the Chargers here. 27-21 regulation, but still that last-minute drive, fourth quarter. Let's go. And now we're going to our prime time, 8:20 NBC. Excuse me. You have the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, 8-3, hosting the Colts, 4-7-1. Very interesting game here. Cowboys obviously coming off with a big dub last week during Thanksgiving game here. And of course, Indianapolis Colts coming off of that tough loss, at home versus Pittsburgh. I don't think Indianapolis is going to have a leg to stand on in this game. If you ask me, give me Dallas. I think it's going to be all day. We saw Dallas smack Minnesota, smack the Giants around for most of the game. I know that the game ended up being, a one-possession game, basically. But give me Dallas here. I think it's going to get pretty ugly, 35-10. And that right there is your football frenzy. My gosh, am I parched. But what a week 13, a lot of implications, that being postseason implications. As I have a couple comments here. But first, hey, Tony, I also says Mike White going to get exposed and leave the game on a stretcher on Sunday. I mean, I never wish any injury to anyone, but I do think that's a pretty interesting take because, the only reason why I think Mike White's going to do well is because they're playing Minnesota. I think the following week they're going to play Buffalo, and I think honestly that's going to get exposed. Because I understand, like Brian's point where Mike White, they didn't want a quarterback controversy. Regardless of quarterback controversy or not, first of all, that's just stupid if it's like that. I would hate the Jets as a fan if they intentionally did not start a better quarterback. They didn't want to hurt their feelings. But that's mentioned. Mike White's been cut several times. 5 times been cut the practice squad. There's got to be there's no way that is just for no reason. There's something in there, whether it's him being inconsistent, him not showing up the same person every week. We'll find out here. We've seen in the past, by the way. But huge test for Mike White. Water. Huge test for Mike White. This is a game where, like I was mentioning, people are kind of calling the Minnesota Vikings, fraudulent team here. They have a great record, but they have some serious holes. And I think, like I was mentioning, the Patriots kind of showed that. The Dallas Cowboys showed that as well. So, I think people are expecting Mike White out Sunday and to have, a similar offensive game to what he had last week. And I think there's a lot of pressure on him. We're going to see what type of player I think Mike White is tomorrow Sunday, this weekend, because, we didn't see a lot of consistent play from him in the past. I understand it's the small sample size being pulled quickly. But I mean, if this is a game where he should be able to go out there, read the defense, and kind of exploit Minnesota's defense. If he doesn't, we're going to understand why he's been cut so many times and put down to the practice squad, okay? And before also says, you're doing a great job, Tony. High energy. Is that a bite? I think I got rid of that. Thank you before. I appreciate all the kind words. Brian,
Take a little sabbatical
out there, sabbatical. It's just typical. The Percy talent. Got to go out on the vacation. Naples, cold, classic.
dink and dunk.
Yeah. Oh, dude. So anyway, that is gonna be our football segment for the day here. So I think we should switch up gears now to a better sport, honestly. A sport that had some great games last night. The world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Hat-trick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot.
Big hit on the far side by McCarr. He flattens Jordan's skull. Oh, my goodness.
Next to come right back. Terrifying and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliance from Igor Shesterkin.
It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores! The winner in overtime!
All right. Speaking of overtime, we'll start with, our game of the day, I think. And I hope Michael's listening right now. I know Michael's out on assignment. As we have a couple comments here, can I ask a question about Kim Kardashian and Chris Paul? I mean, you can ask it. Honestly, I saw on Twitter, Chris Paul was in the headlines. I wasn't really up on what exactly it was. But you fill me in before and ask questions. Certainly, I'm not gonna not entertain questions here today. Let's go, dude. It's me, question bonanza. Let's go. Anything you want, okay? I'm like Rothenberg. Ask movies, whatever, dude. Not even just sports. But we're gonna start in an overtime game here. Again, I hope Mike is listening because I called this yesterday. The Devils dropping a game here to the Nashville Predators 4-3 in overtime. This is the Devils, I think, 5th straight home loss. Pretty crazy here. You're looking at some of the scoring here. First period. I mean, you had Ryan Johansson get his 6th of the year with just 11 seconds into the game. What's going on there, huh? Devils obviously flat-footed. We saw this in the Devils before in the Rangers game. They gave up 2 goals in the first couple of minutes of the game. What are you doing? It's like you can't be coming out flat-footed to these games. You're down 1-0 early. Think about it. This is a game that went to overtime. You can give that goal, whatever. And then, you have another goal, end of the first period. Devils don't show up for first period here against Nashville. And Nashville, I mentioned yesterday, is a team who has good offensive tools, can score. Obviously, they did here. And then, you have a great second period by the Devils. You had Ball with his first goal of the year here, possibly, honestly, of his career. There's another young player. Then you had followed by a Jesper Bratt power play and then another Holtz power play goal, his second of the year. So, Devils come out big here, take the lead second period. I mean, capitalizing, kind of on the power play here, but then you just don't show up for the third period. I mean, inconsistency, I think, was the name of the Devils game here last night. Didn't show up for the first period, showed up for the second period, didn't show up for the third period, and then 30 seconds of the overtime, you let up the game-winning goal. It was by Johansson again, assisted by Duquesne. Matt Duquesne, someone who was on Colorado for a while, got traded a couple of years ago. I mean, dude, like this is not good. Brian did mention a team kind of coming off of a big win streak and then just not being good. I mean, you look at this team stats here, 28 shots on goal for the Devils. Decent. You could have had way more if you showed up for the first and third periods here. 11 hits, kind of low for them. 2 for 5 in the power play. Not horrible. But I mean, you should be capitalizing more. 5 power play opportunities. Come on. I guess you held Nashville to no power play goals and 1 opportunity on the power play. So good discipline, good PK when it meant the most as well. But I mean, you still have 4 goals. So bad job here by the Devils. They have to pick it up something different here for sure. Looking at other games around the league here, you got to talk about the Dallas Stars. Jason Robertson, first player in the hockey league to 20 goals on a season. He had a hat trick last night. He has 22 goals now in the season. The 23-year-old from Minnesota, he's going to be a huge future here for the Dallas Stars. He was drafted second round, 39th pick of the second round here. Overall, I should say 6'3", 200 pounds, like I mentioned, from Minnesota. I think someone who, second rounder, nothing crazy. It's his 3rd year. He's got 39 points on the season already. You look at his season last year, his breakout season, 41 goals, 38 assists, over 74 games, right? We're in 24 games this season. He already has 22 goals. Like, he's on pace to do something special this season for Dallas. Watch out for them, to be honest. And Oettinger absolutely killed it. The shutout, 31 saves here. Oettinger gets his 2nd shutout of the year. .923 save percentage on the year, 2.35 goals against. When you think about upper echelon of the league here in terms of stats, where he's standing with other goaltenders, 23 years old, another, young talent, drafted in 2017, his third season as well with Dallas. He was a first rounder, 26th pick. Seems like he's finally paying some dividends here for Dallas. Last year, his kind of breakout year, 48 games played, 30 wins, 15 losses, 253 goals against, 914 save percentage. It's kind of where he's been, but I just think that he has more around him in terms of a Dallas team. Also from Minnesota, low key, I'm rooting for Dallas a little bit this year. They have some great young talent that they kind of brought up and developed themselves. I mean, I think they're going to be super dangerous down the stretch here of this season. I mean, they took care of business at home against the Ducks, 5-0. That's what I would love to see from a certain New York team. Another game, I think, to talk about, the Wild beating the Edmonton Oilers. I mentioned the Oilers not having a lot of offense, giving up goals against the Minnesota Wild team. That is what they get there. Fuck it. But you had a goal and 2 assists from Kaprizov. Eriksson, a goal and assist. Steele with a goal as well. I mean, what a name, huh? Sam Steele, baby. 24 years old, from Edmonton, actually. So, obviously, playing against Edmonton, wants to do your best here. And then also last night, a couple other games worth just noting. Kraken beat the Capitals 3-2 in overtime. The Blues dropped to the Hurricanes 6-4. Surprised at that. Flames dropped 2-1 in the Canadiens. Surprised at that as well. Panthers took care of business in Vancouver 5-1. LA took care of business at home, Staples Center, with Arizona coming in there. You had to quit giving up 3 goals, giving up a shorthanded goal early in the game too. First period with Kopitar, 2 goals in the night, 1 in the power play, 1 in the 5-on-5. Fiala, a goal, empty netter. You had more with the power play goal as well. And just, not much offense kind of, I guess, generated. Not enough offense, I should say, generated by Arizona. And then, of course, Vejmelka, 27 saves, giving up 5 goals. Uncharacteristic for him, of course. The Kings are a very highly offensive team, is what the word I'm looking for is there. Arizona, 21 shots on goal, nothing crazy to Kings 32 here. They're just kind of got outplayed, Arizona 0 for 3 in the power play. They had no offense to help out Vejmelka. Don't blame him that much, but going to pick it up. If Arizona wants to do anything here down the stretch, they have to pick it up against teams like LA, and that's a fact. So before we move on to tonight's games, we have a couple comments here from Prefer. He did ask about the Kim Kardashian thing. He goes, your thoughts on Kanye West says he caught Phoenix Suns guard Chris Paul cheating on his wife with Kim Kardashian. I think that's very, obviously, Kanye West is obviously in headlines right now. He caught him. Is this like something that was like a few years ago? Like, while Kim and Kanye were still married, like, what's the deal? Maybe this is something that Chris Paul already addressed with his wife. We don't know any info here. So, I guess, Kanye West is also just kind of saying a lot of things that come to his mind recently. But, it's a shame that he's kind of just putting Chris Paul on blast right now. Obviously, there's the issues he has with his wife and everything. But to put Chris Paul in here on blast, of course, nobody should be cheating on their wives. But this is certainly a, personal issue. So pretty interesting. I think that and unfortunate that Chris Paul's anybody. He's gonna have to make some type of statement, I guess, right? You got to come out and be like, yeah, this never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Or, yeah, I did it. Talked about my wife with it. It's fine. We're all cool. Let's play some basketball. Do some drills. So we'll see what happens to Chris Paul. Next, your thoughts on Antonio Brown locks himself inside his home, refusing to comply with police outside his residence. I said it before, with the way Antonio Brown was acting. I think there's like some CTE situation going on here. And it's a real shame, honestly, because I think this man just needs help. I understand, like, he had a warrant out for his arrest for a domestic violence, I guess, dispute. Obviously, there's not much excuses for something like that. But I think this man I'm certain he's confused as to what's going on with his life, and for him to kind of, I guess, have this standoff now at his home. It's a very unfortunate ending to a football player who's very talented, who's been around the league, who's had a lot of success in his young career, who could have had continued success, in the later part of his career. And it is unfortunate that it's kind of coming to these things. But I think at this point, like I said, like, he needs some help, some medical help here. So obviously we'll keep you guys updated on those two storylines, because obviously they do have something to do with sports. So, man, my mouth is dry from talking so much. It's also the time of the year for the sniffles. Oh, man. All right, let's keep it going here. Hockey tonight. Let's go. Friday, small slate, 3 games, but 3 important games. Really just 1 important game. I mean, I guess these games are important, but nonetheless here, you have your New York Rangers hosting the Ottawa Senators. Rangers minus 178 here. On the year, minus 178 here, against Ottawa at home. Kind of stupid line here. It should be minus 3,000 if you ask me. Rangers just beat, the Senators a few days ago. 3-1 regulation, easy money here. Both teams, exactly the last game they played was against each other. And we're gonna go here, second game of their series here for the regular season. Obviously, the Rangers taking game 1 here of the season of the series. So I think the Rangers. I mean, it's same deal. Okay, same deal. Kreider winning battles in front of the net. Players just getting pucks to the net here. I think last game it was Schneider. No, it was Lindgren. Sorry, Lindgren with 3 primary assists from the blue line, just throwing pucks on net. People winning battles in front of the goalie here. Shesterkin, bang, 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 bang. Okay, should that be a Halak game? I appreciate the first one of the season. Shesterkin, shutout. Rangers win 5-0. Dallas Stars, New York Rangers. Okay, easy money right there. And I think, honestly, I mean, again, I think Lindgren's going to have a good game. I understand he's day-to-day, a little banged up, but it's hockey. He's playing. He understands, he's been doing something great for this team. And I think it's time for, someone else to step up in some type of leadership role. And I've been, kind of praising all these guys out of Minnesota. Lindgren's one of them. He's a young guy, 24 years old, working the stash. Okay. I think he's a defenseman. Specifically, we know the Rangers love getting behind, defensemen, having strong, D-men at that blue line who can also work in some offense. Ryan Lindgren's your guy right now. And I think he's going to lead example on the ice here. And you're going to see him, something kind of click in him to kind of be like, I have something here. And you know what, if I say something, like, my team's going to follow me. And that's what you're going to see here with the Rangers. Big turning point here for the season for New York. 5-0. I'm telling you, shut out. Watch out. Bet the house. Rangers minus 178. Easy. Excuse me. Next game here. Preds on the back-to-back here. Not really sure. Is it going to be Lankinen in between the pipes? Is it going to be Soros? Doesn't really matter because, honestly, both goaltenders don't stand up to Sorokin. Islanders, though, to me, I understand they're 15-9. They're doing well as of late. Haven't really impressed me. Tough loss to Philly. Toronto, they went to overtime. I don't know. There's something about them. It's not impressive. Nashville playing some really gritty games here. 2 overtime winners. They did get shut out by Detroit, but I mean, Detroit can be really good. You know, we've seen what they do against, you know, teams like the Rangers and Islanders too. So give me Nashville here. Forsberg, Nina Ryder, same guys as last night. Islanders off night. Barzal, I know 26 points. He's the assist guy right now. 24 assists. 24 of his 26 points have come from assists. He is their setup man. But give me Nashville in another upset. I'll take Nashville as the dog again. Double dog down. I double dog dare you. Okay, let's go Nashville. I'll say 3-1 regulation upset. Next game, Winnipeg at home hosting the Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus sucks. Winnipeg, great. They're minus 240. I would take the favorite guy here. Johnny Gaudreau. I understand 22 points in the season is decent. But when you think about Gaudreau, think about the contract they signed to him, think about how all the free agency talk, where's he going to go? Several teams want him. Lands at some weird spot like Columbus and no production. I think he's a man, honestly, who's not built right to be leading the teams here in production of anything. I understand big breakout year for Calgary, but obviously he went to a market that doesn't put a lot of pressure on you, that no one really cares about. I mean, Columbus, they care. I don't care about Columbus. I care about Columbus when Tortorella coached and Dubinsky was on it, and that was really it. Rick Nash, I guess I watched a little bit when he was on Columbus, but come on, dude. Come on. Good Winnipeg here. 4-1. Easy money. Also, one thing I didn't mention from last night here, Robertson, understand, great stuff, but probably one guy that overshadowed him last night was Steven Stamkos for the Lightning. They beat the Flyers. He beat the Flyers basically. He got his 1,000th career point last night. First Tampa Bay Lightning player to ever reach 1,000 career points. Let that sink in a little bit because that's pretty crazy. Not only that he did it, but first career Lightning to do it. I mean, you think of Marty St. Louis obviously comes to mind when you think of Tampa Bay Lightning, and even all the guys to kind of go there, to go through the Lightning in the 90s and stuff. But first one to kind of do that, that's like super impressive. And for it to come to last night in a big win against Philly, kudos to him. He's had a phenomenal career. His career stats are really impressive, and he shows at 32 years old, no signs of declining. In fact, he's, when the Lightning were off to a poor start, it was him being the only bright spot. Even when Vasilevsky was not looking that great, it was Stamkos, bright spot for them. Absolutely love it, dude. So congrats to him. He's gonna have a great season. The Lightning, obviously, the back Stanley Cup appearances, winning the cup back-to-back. It's great stuff for him. He's certainly gonna be a first ballot future Hall of Famer for sure. So kudos to him. And it's not over yet for him. That's what's crazy. It's not over yet. So basically that's it for hockey, for football. A couple of comments, actually. Before we get to some housekeeping notes, Michael says, you're doing great, Tony. Thank you very much. But first is Tony, who got you into hockey? Well, I'm trying to think now. Growing up, certainly a fan of the Mighty Ducks. That probably is what first introduced hockey as a sport to me. I had family members, friends who played hockey, so I had an interest in it. I thought it was a very cool sport. It wasn't really, like I said, Mighty Ducks hockey. I watched Rangers games. I watched hockey. I didn't really have an allegiance yet, though, because I wasn't, I don't know. there was so many cool teams out there. As you know, I just am impressed with different teams. As a kid, I liked Dallas. I liked San Jose a lot. I honestly, when I was really little, this may even be pre-Mighty Ducks, but I played Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey on the N64. And believe it or not, I was the Flyers a lot. I just thought they had a really cool logo. I love the orange and black. When you think about it, they were, a team with a lot of history, and back then, they had good skaters as well. Um, and that game in and of itself, if you never played that game, go out and get it and play it. Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey. It is unbelievable how much fun it is. Excuse me. And I think that's what really got me into it. And like I said, I was like a kind of a Flyers fan. I did play as the Rangers a little bit because, New York, Messier, I obviously knew about him. So that's pretty neat, I thought. And then again, Washington Mighty Ducks. I just had a respect for the sport in general. As I got older, I think I went to a Rangers game with my parents. I liked hockey, local team here, Rangers. So I just kind of developing this, this, I guess, soft spot for the Rangers. And then in high school, 8th grade, I started skating a lot. And I started just paying attention more to the hockey, and I got the Rangers, because it's New York. I went to the Garden a lot. It's magical over there in the Garden. And my other, New York team with the Islanders. I mean, I'm not going to Long Island. I'm not going to the Coliseum, although, I still enjoyed watching them because I went to some games there as well. So, I make a short story long here. That's kind of what got me into hockey, and I've never looked back. So much fun. Hockey is. I highly recommend it. Prefer. So that's basically it. A couple of housekeeping notes here. We're not going to go to the world of Major League Baseball, but something to talk about. You had Eflin get picked up here by the Rays. Zach Eflin got a 3-year, $40 million contract. That is the largest free agency contract in Rays history. Wilson Alvarez got a 5-year, $35 million contract. So pretty interesting that, Zach Eflin would kind of net this from the Rays here. You look at his stats from last year. Let's go to some baseball reference here. Excuse me. So, minor league statistics. No, what the hell was that? Zach Eflin, his 2022 careers, 2022 stats, 4.04 ERA, 65 Ks, 3-5 on the season here. Not great, He had 20 games pitched, 13 games started this past season. It was 3-5 in the starts and everything. So very confused as to what the Rays were thinking. But again, we've seen time and time again, some pitchers or players in general going to the Rays and then just having a good couple of years there, a good contract there, a good tenure in Tampa Bay. Pretty crazy. I don't know what they're putting in the water over there. But let me tell you,
the water jugs are full, Tony.
Certainly full.
Jimmy G, man.
Jimmy G, Brian. That's going to be it from me for the sports port here today. You're going to stay tuned because at 1:00, Jay is going to be in studio. We're doing screen time. There's once again so much great news coming up for screen time. The new Mario Bros. Trailer, obviously, that I fudged up from the last episode. But then you have the Cocaine Bear trailer, the new Indiana Jones trailer, the new Transformers trailer. Not to mention, I saw Glass Onion this week. I'm going to be talking about it. May have a few callers calling in, and it's going to be Jay on the table. It's going to be Tony producing. It's going to be a great time. So certainly, go get some lunch, take a couple, maybe a walk around the block, get the blood flowing. Come back here for 1:00. It's going to be screen time. It's going to be great on this beautiful Friday. Great weather out there, sunny, cold, love it. And if you come back a little early before 1 o'clock, you can just tune into some other stuff on Downtime TV's YouTube. Go subscribe, please. Love the support, I think, from our fans this past week. We've been getting a lot of subscribers. Honestly, this month certainly, but in the past couple of weeks, we've just been climbing. Absolutely love it. Please subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. It helps out a ton. Road to 1,000 subscribers. And then we can just get unlimited content to you all the time. All the time. So, all right, I'll see you guys here back at 1 o'clock. And for you sports poor people who are low to Brian, I'll see you on Monday. Enjoy the games.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.